Okay, let's get started. It is Monday, August the 22nd, 2022, 9 a.m. Wilson County Commissioners Court is now in session. We'll have, if y'all would, join our county clerk in reciting the Lord's Prayer. Our Father,
who art in heaven,
hallowed be thy name.
thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory forever. Amen.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one indivisible.
Okay, so we got that. It is 9 a.m. We're going to go to agenda item number 5. Since it is 9 a.m., agenda item number 5, Richard L. Jackson County Judge, Brenda L. Trevino County Auditor. 5A, 9 a.m. budget hearing for the local government code 111.007. Okay, 5B, discuss and propose tax rate by record vote.
I have presented you with a proposed budget, which has been filed with the county clerk, and I will read the cover letter. This budget will raise more revenue from property taxes than last year's budget by an amount of $1,552,785, which is an 8.5854% increase from last year's budget. The property tax revenue to be raised from new property added to the tax roll this year is $708,533.67.
And what is the proposed tax rate?
The, okay,
And
can I go ahead and read this? Or
Yes,
just
that's
for
what-
the next item, go ahead and read this, okay.
we're going to 5C, set tax rate hearing date. Well, but this is still 5B. is what we're on.
5B, okay. So, let's see, the proposed tax rate is .430174 per $100. The no new revenue tax rate is .385814, and the voter approval tax rate is .430174. The no new revenue tax rate is the tax rate for the 2022 tax year that will raise the same amount of property taxes for Wilson County from the same properties in both the 21 tax year and the 2022 tax year. The voter approval tax rate is the highest tax rate that Wilson County may adopt without holding an election to seek voter approval of the rate. The proposed tax rate is greater than the no new revenue rate. This means that Wilson County is proposing to increase property tax for 2022 tax year. The proposed tax rate is the voter approval rate of .430174.
Okay, and that is our voter approval rate, which that means there's not going to be a voter approval election because it stays within the limit. What is
Correct.
this year's tax rate?
So the total tax rate for 2021 is .4228. Being proposed for 2022 is .430174 for an increase of .007374. The average homestead taxable value currently is $218,776. For 2022, the average homestead taxable value is $243,624, which is an increase of $24,848 or 11.36%. Of course, those are out of our control. That's the appraisal district. So that equates to a tax on the average homestead of $925 currently for the 2021 tax year, and increased to $1,048 in the 2022 with an increase of $123. So the total tax levied on all properties for 2021 was $18,086,450. $18,086,450. And the total tax levy on our properties for the proposed budget is $19,639,235.
Okay, going back to 9A, do we have anybody that would like to make a comment at the budget hearing?
Judge. No, I can't.
Okay.
I think they can probably hear me. I'm just-
Well, but the problem is the people online can't hear you. So let's use a microphone, please.
Oh, okay.
Good morning, Commissioners and the public. The only comment that I need to make is to make sure that I add my records preservation as part of the budget hearing, and that would be for preserving the records. At this time, we have a project in place to finish up the Commissioners Court, which they should deliver them, and we also have the mapping that we are doing, and we'd like to continue that and finish it before the end of the year. And that is it. Thank you for your time. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Anybody else? Did y'all have something you wanted to?
Here's the one that y'all decided that would be to the record vote. Does that go to Eva or?
Okay, we haven't had the vote yet. This is the time if we do, if y'all are gonna like, Michelle, put her in the commissioner's court to do that. Commissioner Martin, did y'all have anything y'all wanted to?
Well, I mean, the only question I have is regarding the grants management and how that's going to work if it's moved under the auditor's office.
You mean if it changes to go move, because it's currently under my office now and has been. So you're saying if it moves to the Commissioner's Court?
Well,
Been under Commissioner's Court, but you've been overseeing it.
yes. And I guess my deal is I'd like to see more information come to court more frequently in that regard, updates, that sort of thing, status. We generally only see that person come to court whenever there's a grant to be approved. And, where are they at? What do we need to be doing? Are there grants we need to make a decision that we want to apply for? How's that going to work? Do we make that request through you, or, I guess,
I don't know what is your request? I mean, your request is to have someone come
like
more
get a
frequently?
monthly or quarterly,
Oh, okay.
whatever is appropriate, to
Yeah.
give us an update on what's going on, what grants we've applied for, what the status is, when do we expect to get the award? What's our chances of getting the award? Do we need to refocus our efforts in another direction, that kind of thing? And also, I think we need to improve the communication between the court and that office, excuse me, from the standpoint of, I know all of us hear about different things at different times, and we provide that information to that office, but we never really get sometimes feedback whether that was an appropriate thing or whether we're eligible or whatever. I just like to open the lines of communication better with that group. So it's, how do we accomplish that?
Well, I wasn't aware that there wasn't enough communication, so I definitely can correct
Well,
that.
I mean,
That's-
I won't say that there was a problem, it just wasn't happening. It's just probably as much our fault as it is anybody else's, because we haven't really asked for it, I don't think. But I think that's an important part of what we do. It brings significant revenue to the county.
Sure.
And we just need to be more apprised of what it is, so that if we get questions or whatever, we're able to communicate that to people that ask.
I'd like to clarify, is the grants department under the commissioner's court or under the auditor's office? She said it's under the auditor's office, and you're saying it's under the
But it
commissioner's
was,
court.
then everything's been moved under the auditor's office as
Well, I think
what's in the budget now.
You're asking prior to the proposed budget?
Yes.
So the departments have been two separate budget departments, but have fallen under my umbrella. So I have been the official over that department because of everything that goes into that, including the budget for that department. So I mean, I've been the, the department head over that department in terms of personnel, budget, and every facet related to that department
Okay, so
for the last 2 years.
how are we gonna have it moving forward?
Well, what she's proposing is to leave it the same.
Yeah, the only difference that I made in the proposed budget was consolidating both department budgets into one, and I freed up almost $12,000 and put it back into the general fund, because when we initially created the department 2 years ago, it was set up with office supplies, travel, conferences, et cetera, and then we've just kind of gauged it. I've gauged it over the last 2 years where a lot of that money wasn't being spent. And so I consolidated and put it under one department number, which is the one that the auditor's office currently has, since I've had oversight over that department for the last 2 years. So that's what you'll see in here. It just made better sense to do it that way, so.
Okay, so do we want,
I mean, I'm fine with that. I just want to make, I mean, I guess organizationally, there's no issue with that. I just want to make sure that the court gets more information on a more frequent basis. And if that's going to you to make sure that happens, then that's fine. I mean.
Yeah,
we're
we
go-
can certainly, I mean, we can certainly sit down and talk about, more detail about what more information that you'd like to see. And if that looks like maybe a monthly report at the court, we definitely can do that.
Yeah, because, I mean, I'll use the text vent grant for an example. I mean, I think Mr. File's still waiting on one of his trucks. Some of us turned ours in, some of us haven't. What are the deadlines? Making sure that we're doing what we need to do, so to make sure that we get those refunds. And maybe that's a unique grant. A lot of them are just, apply for it, you get it, they send us the money, we do the work, so.
Yeah, and it could be just different styles of communication, because a lot of that work gets done on the back end, and not knowing how busy the commissioners are. If you want us to calling you every time that we have a change or an update, we certainly absolutely can and definitely will. We just need to know how much information you want and how frequent you want it.
Well, right, but like I said, for me, it's just getting a little bit more information to see what the status of a lot of these things.
Okay.
I mean, personally, I'd like to see it added as a regular agenda item. If it's gonna be under your department, then just put a grants update in there with the other reports and the bills.
Okay.
Because I know a lot of these are time sensitive, and a lot of them we've had to ratify, and I don't know, and that's fine. I mean, sometimes we just don't find out about things until the last minute, and so they have to be ratified. But I'd rather not do that if we can avoid that.
Sure.
And so I just think we can all work together better to make sure we can maximize those
Okay.
funds that we can get.
so what do we need? Do motion to adopt it as she's proposed it.
Well, I got another question. So I know we haven't quite finished here. How's the collection facility doing in terms of revenue versus expenses? Because it
Yeah.
seemed like,
We've definitely collected more this year currently, and you'll find that on page,
looks like 27 and 28.
that's gonna be the expenses, your revenue, let me find your revenue for you. Your landfill fees, you're going to find on page,
27?
well, I think that's your.
That's the
That's your
expenses.
expenses. I just want to give you where the
Revenue?
revenue is. Yes, give me just a second.
Because I guess my concern is on line 4691, where we've expended $153,098. I guess that was as of, whatever day, end of July, and we're only budgeting 140 for next year. And
Yeah.
it seems like we're going to be way under projecting what that expense is there.
Yeah, and you'll see this on page 3. It's line 3440. I'm sorry, not 3440, 3,500. Those are your landfill fees. And as of the date of this, it was $194,632.17 of revenue. Line 3,500 on page 3. So it was budgeted at 120. I increased it to 140 for the 2023 year.
But I guess we should be increasing that revenue also, if that's what the revenue we has was.
Yeah, I mean, we certainly can. I was just,
Is it a balancing issue, or?
no, I mean, if you look at your, historically speaking, I mean, I didn't want to overshoot the revenue. I didn't know if this was just an odd year because of people still coming out, or this last year
With
out of
COVID.
COVID, and everybody's cleaning their garages out and dumping stuff left and right, and so
In
I
the burn
wasn't.
ban?
Yeah.
All year, yeah.
Yeah, so I wasn't sure if you wanted to go another, because I increased it by $20,000, if you wanted to go even higher to where we currently are. I was afraid if we came in under that, we'd be cutting ourselves short.
I know there's been more activity out there this past year than in the
Than
years
ever,
past.
right? Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
Well, I think we made it a lot easier to get in and out of there,
right.
too. That helps.
So are you suggesting, Commissioner, that we increase the proposed revenue and increase the expense in that?
Well, I mean,
Line
that
item?
just seems logical to me. I mean, because, I mean, if we know, and I mean, all of this is our best guess.
Yeah.
But we're on track to be over budget on the expenses by
Mm-hmm.
probably $40,000 or $50,000. And our revenue, actually, if we use this
Matches
year's
it, yeah.
revenue, we're about, $50,000 or $60,000 over on so it's a balance,
Yeah,
but I mean.
it's a wash.
It really is a wash, but I think it's more realistic to look at what the actual expense is.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that what we're supposed to be doing, is actual? I mean, if we're getting that much more new revenue, we should show that, and if we're having that many more expenses, we should show that.
Yeah, because I mean, we need to be reviewing those the fees annually to make sure that if we're starting to lose money on that proposition, that we can increase those fees to cover that. If they're too high, then we may need to lower them or adjust them to where
According to
we're,
this, we're doing okay.
right now, it looks like we're doing okay.
And I think we just, didn't y'all,
Last year.
last year just modify those
Right.
rates?
Actually, it was this calendar year we did it. It was earlier this year,
So
but
that may have something to do with the increased revenue as well. If we, I don't have what 2021 was, but if we had less revenue last year and then we increased the rates mid-year, that could be definitely why we have additional revenue this year.
yeah.
Then we should probably account for what additional revenue we would have
With the
Right.
new rates.
with the new rates.
Right, and then is that, when is that waste hauling bid?
There's not a bid, or as far as I know,
A what?
that we go out for bid for waste hauling.
We did originally.
Oh, okay, not since I've been here,
No.
Gary, so I don't know how long ago it's been.
Yeah, we probably need to look at that, because I mean, we all know that that's not going to do anything but continue to go up and up and up. It's all the landfill rules and,
Where they get us is overweight.
yep.
You look at the bill,
Yeah,
that's where they get us is overweight.
I can pull historical data to see when the last time was that we went out for bid and what that looked like.
Speaking of the landfill, weren't we working on a grant or something to get, or they were trying to get a grant to help us get, we don't even have restroom facilities or?
Well, that grant for the collection facility, that project was completed already, and we got additional revenue that was added to this current year's budget. But nothing, I believe it was about
$49,000?
$49,000. So it's sitting in a holding fund right now, because nothing's been decided on how we're using that.
Okay. That's something we need to decide on, I'm assuming not today, but at a later date. Okay?
I would recommend, Commissioner, that if that is the case, that is something that is decided on and maybe not completed, but expended by September 30th of this year, because that's revenue that we received this fiscal year, so it's not revenue that'll roll over into it's not in a separate fund. It's in the
So
general fund.
We'll lose it if we don't spend it?
Well, it just goes back into our fund balance.
What can we get done for that? We can't build much of a building with restrooms and stuff for that, can we?
That's a problem.
Yeah.
That's where the original grant that was part of,
Restrooms or run, nothing out there for the employees.
okay, well, that's something we can definitely look into. I don't know, that wouldn't be enough, but we could
Get something.
Well,
Get
I mean,
something started.
I guess, because we could hold that in that fund and then, I guess, I mean, we need to develop a plan and get some costs, I mean, because we're going to have to put in a septic tank, that's going to be
About $8,000.
$8,000 to $10,000 or more, just for a septic tank. So that is there an issue with leaving that money there to create a fund to do that?
I don't know. Let me take a look, because I want to say that what I might be able to do is keep that grant fund open.
Yep.
We may do that, Judge, is just keep that grant fund open, even though the original project was completed, and transfer the revenue from where it was receipted into over to that grant fund, and then reallocate it for the new fiscal year, that $47,000. I'd have to get with Christina to go back and check to see where that's where I was looking for. I don't have it offhand, so, but we can do that so that there's not a rush to have to do it by this fiscal year. I was just stating that because I know that it's been receipted into the general fund when we
Right.
received it, yeah.
Okay.
But I'll make that
So
note.
get that and get it done to where it can be, if something happens, if nothing else, at least get a septic
Sure.
tank installed out there this year.
Yeah, it won't change the bottom line on your proposed budget, it's just
Right.
moving it from one.
I just hate to see that money get thrown back in the general fund and then,
That's all the questions I had.
I don't know if this is for the sheriff or Brenda. I just noticed in every precinct, and especially mine, the JP fines, she reduced them 40,000. the people in the county living better, or not speeding or much, or, I mean, that's a big difference.
That's probably because EPS ain't been here writing the tickets.
Is that what it is?
I was gonna say that if you didn't.
We probably written just as many as ever, and, but DPS I know is not in here, the border stuff and everything like that. I would think it'd be just lack of citations issued in general.
That's probably not going to change on the short term.
No, sir.
DPS, they keep, it's more or less a skeleton crew that's here, and they're mainly here to work
They're starting to be,
crashes.
they're starting to be here more, as they've changed their rotation process, but yeah, they were pretty in here for a while.
Yeah, they were.
And I see that there's a line item for dispatch fees, 200,000. Is, you got plans for something like that?
Yes, sir. The ESDs have approached to, and we're really getting to the traffic to where we need a dispatcher for fire and EMS, and they're willing to budget to pay for those dispatch positions. And with that, we're gonna add those dispatch and open that third console in the dispatch office.
Just out of curiosity, how many of the people that we dispatch for have agreed to do that?
All of them.
The
Everybody-
cities and all, wow, that's good.
Everybody, well, the cities were already paying for dispatch.
Yeah. Well, some of them were.
when they were built. But everybody is paying for the dispatchers, and the ESDs approached me to add that dispatch position, and they're willing to, not completely fund it, but pretty close to fund it.
I think they agreed, each ESD to pay the county $40,000 each, and that's where the 200,000 comes into play. And when the sheriff and I sat down and talked about it, it was under the understanding that we would not hire those dispatchers unless there was an interlocal agreement that these ESDs would agree to pay, and that is something that I believe Tom Caldwell is working on. And it looks like from the county perspective, we would pick up basically the benefits part of it. A little less than total amount of benefits.
Can we get that enacted by October 1?
I think all the ESDs are already on board, so it's on there, as far as I know, that it is already in their budget for
Yeah.
the next fiscal year, and,
The only one I'm not sure about, Sheriff, is ESD 2, and I think that was still up in the air, but the other ones
yes,
I believe
but
have.
4 of the 5 of them I know are, and
Yes,
Yeah.
and this the last dispatch meeting to do a number, but we would plan to contribute the same to the ESD.
What about the volunteers? Are they willing to pitch in some too, or are they,
we're funding them anyway. So, the volunteer fire departments, we're funding, the way I look at it right now anyway, with money they can raise and what the county gives them to operate, there's no reason to ask them for more.
Thank you.
And we actually budget to give, we budget to, for payment for those volunteer fire departments for Three Oaks, Stockdale, and
Both.
and all the cities?
Hoth is the only city that does
Yes.
not pay dispatch fees.
And we need to talk to them.
They've already been talked to. All I need to do is get them to bid.
That's all I got.
Anything else on the budget here? And anybody in the audience have anything for the budget hearing? Okay. Then we will go to 5B, discuss and propose a tax rate by a record vote, and the tax rate is .430174.
You ready for a motion, Judge?
I would entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to set the tax rate at .430174 cents per $100.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Martin, second by Commissioner Perdola, that the tax rate be set at .430174. Do we have any more discussion, questions? Anything? Okay, this is a record. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And there is none, so it's a unanimous vote. Okay. Is this for Eva to fill out or for me to fill out?
The
or-
record vote on the bottom, is that for you to fill out, or do we fill it out?
And there's no place even for a signature?
No, it's just, we just have to record it.
Yes, just go ahead and fill
You want me to fill it out?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, let Brenda fill it out?
I can fill it out, and then we
And
post
bring
it
it
on
to
our,
the
we have to post it on our website and file
Okay.
it with Eva, so I can do that.
Okay, now, we're going to 5C, set a tax rate hearing date, and we have that for,
I do, Judge, I have it proposed for September 12th, 2022 at 9 a.m. That would also be the, or I'm sorry, is that what you said for the tax rate hearing?
Yes.
Yes.
we can also vote it on the same day.
Yes, and that's the date that
But
we
it has
have.
to be later in the, it has to be
Separate
after the
agenda
hearing.
item, but that would be the day that we will have the budget on the agenda for adoption as well.
Okay. I'll entertain a motion for,
I'll make a motion to set the tax hearing rate for September 12th, 2022 at 9 a.m.
Second.
motion by Commissioner Martin, second by Commissioner Perdola, that we set the tax rate hearing date for September 12th at 9 a.m. Is there any more discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Okay, now we're through with that agenda item. We're going to go back up to agenda item number 3, public comments.
We have none at this time, Judge.
Okay, then we're
Nobody's
going to
signed up.
agenda item number 4, certificates of completion and awards.
I have none that were
None.
turned in to me.
Okay, so let's go right on down to agenda item number 6, Richard L. Jackson County Judge. Bonnie Ramirez requests to allow CAST to use the parking lot at the Justice Department October 29th, 2022 for a trunk or treat from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. That's the parking lot across from the District Court Criminal Justice Center. And they've done it the last 2 years, I know.
I make a motion, Judge, that we approve CAST to use a parking lot in front of the Justice Center, October 29th, from 5 to 8 p.m.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner File, second by Commissioner Perdola. Is there any more discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries, so. Now, we're going to agenda item number 7, Richard L. Jackson County Judge, Nicole Dimmer, FCHA agent. We're going to go to 7B first, okay, which is introduce Allison Drayback as the new 4-H and Youth Development Extension agent. Let's do that first, and then we can.
Everybody, today we have our district.
Nicole, if you don't mind, would y'all come and use the microphone? Because people online, they can't hear you. Sorry.
Or we can take the microphone to you if you
Yeah.
can speak back there.
Yes, so we have,
I'm not sure it's on, to be honest with you.
Extension Minister Michael Haynes is here, and we are very, it's not on.
No, the back, push the button in the back or on the bottom.
Now the blue light.
There it is.
Oh, there we go.
Thank you.
So we have Allison Drawback here. She is going to be our new 4-H and Youth Development Extension Agent. Do you want me to just? Okay.
All right, you're up, Michael.
Thank you, Nicole. Well, I was hoping it'd be raining by the time I got up here so I could take credit for it, so we were buying some time, but it hadn't turned out. Good morning, Judge and Commissioners, and good morning, Wilson County. It's our pleasure to introduce Allison as our finalist for the position of County Extension Agent for 4-H Youth Development, pending your approval. We're very happy to have her with us. She has a degree from Texas A&M University in 2020 in Ag Leadership and Development. She has a master's degree in Recreation, Parks, and Tourism. Every time I think I can get that major correct, I fumble over it, so I'm glad I have support. And has a superb record in 4-H. She's going to be first stepping starting in September on the state's dime, training in Gonzales County next door with our agents there. One of our agents, in fact, I believe, Allison, was your agent growing up. And so the cycle of Extension mentorship will continue, and October 1st, she will officially start here. Any events that are critical to the mission of our work here in Wilson County, she is certainly welcome to attend and be part of during that September training period, and then we'll hit the ground running full speed. So I'd like to introduce Allison to you.
Yes, I just want to say thank you for your time today. I am very appreciative of this opportunity, and I'm excited to have the chance to serve the community.
You know we have the best 4-H club in the state.
I've heard.
Okay, all right.
Got lots of work ahead of you.
It's very active.
Yes.
I'm excited about that.
Okay, well, now that we've got Allison introduced, then let's go to 7A, discuss and take action on Texas A&M AgriLife Extension recommendation request for the court's action on filling the 4-H and Youth Development County Extension Agent position in Wilson County.
Judge, I make a motion that we approve the Allison Drabeck as the 4-H Youth and Development Agent.
I'll second it.
Motion by Commissioner Fowle, second by Commissioner Wiley, that we approve Allison Drabeck as a new 4-H County, Development County Extension Agent. Okay, is there any more discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? So congratulations, welcome.
Congratulations.
Thank
you,
you.
Judge.
We know you'll do a good job. Okay. Going to agenda item number 8, Richard L. Jackson County Judge, discuss and take action on allowing county employees to volunteer to work Wilson County-sponsored San Antonio Food Bank food distributions at the Wilson County Expo and Community Center through December 22nd. Okay, we have one coming up on November the 2nd. Mario got with us and said that they would like to have a distribution here, so we're going to look forward. Genevieve is already in the process of getting that organized, and this is to allow, like we've always done, the county employees to go out and work the food bank and still be getting, instead of not having to take a day off, getting compensated for while they're working at the food bank.
They gonna have them in December also?
This is the only one. Mario stopped by the other day and said they were doing distributions in different places, and we've always done one here, so we agreed to have one here. But they know, as of right now, there's not one planned for December.
Just in November.
Just in November the 2nd. And I'm not saying that if there is a good turnout or something, that they won't do another one, but this is just for the, right now, this will cover through the end of December, this item here, but it's, we just have one planned for November the 2nd.
I make a motion, Judge, that we approve the employees to be compensated to work the food bank.
To the end of the calendar year.
Yeah, the end of the calendar year.
Okay.
November 2nd, and if we have another one in December.
Okay. Second. Motion by Commissioner Fowle, second by Commissioner Perdola, that we allow the employees that work the food bank to be compensated. Is there any more discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, that motion carries. Olga's here. Okay, agenda item number 9, Richard L. Jackson County Judge Olga M. Marrero, Elections Administrator. 9A, request to approve the order calling the general election on November 3rd, 2022. Do you have that order?
Yes, sir. Do you have a copy of it?
I don't have a copy of it, no.
I think, let me see what happened here.
We have the list of the people that are going to work, Olga, but we don't have the order, the original order. I'm sorry. Excuse me. Let me go ahead and hand these on. These are the ones.
Do you need this back, or do you need?
You just need to sign it. This is the other part of hers. There you go, Judge. Judge and commissioners, so here, we need to order the election. And today is our last day to order the November election. Whether you have the order, and review the judge.
What's that? Yes, what about it? I'm sorry, I was reading while you were. What's that? Oh, you don't have it?
Yes, it automatically turns off? Okay.
Okay,
No, that's okay.
there you go. I thought you had.
I did.
Oh, okay, go ahead, read, if you don't mind, read it.
Okay. In order of hereby order to be held on November the 8th, 2022 in Wilson County, Texas, for the purpose of electing the following county and precinct officers. Press the bottom, I don't know why. Texas Constitution. The bottom of the microphone, yeah.
This offices, judge, district clerk, county treasurers, county commissioners, precinct 2 and 4, justice of the peace, precinct 1, 2, 3, and 4.
Can you change it?
Early voting by personal appearance will be conducted each weekday at the main early voting location, Wilson County Elections Office, 1103 4th Street, Building B, Suite 101, Floresville, Texas, 78114. Between the hours of 8 a.m. and 5 p.m. beginning on October the 24th, 2022, and ending on November 4th, 2022. Note, additional early voting hours will be held Saturday, October 29th, from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Extended hours will be Thursday, October 27th, from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. We'll have a branch early voting at the Lavernia Church of Christ, 131 Industrial Drive, Lavernia, Texas, between the hours of 8 a.m. and 8 p.m., October 27, 2022, and 8 a.m. to 5 p.m., October 28, 22. Note additional early hours, voting hours on Saturday, October 29th, from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Applications for ballot by mail shall be mailed to Wilson County Elections Office, P.O. Box 188. Applications for ballots by mail must be received no later than the closing of business on October 28th, 2022. Issued this date of August 2022. And signature of county judge.
A motion to approve the order of election.
I'll make a motion to approve the order calling for a general election on November 3rd, 2022.
I'll second it.
Motion by Commissioner Martin, second by Commissioner Wiley, to approve the order of election for this year, include early voting and the general election on Election Day. Is there any more discussion? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Okay, now we're going to 9B, request to approve the November 3rd, 2022 general election polling locations.
Okay, so Box 101, Wilson County ESD number 2, 191 Cimarron Drive. Box 102, Floresville Sacred Heart Parish Hall, 1009 Trail Street. Box 103, Cañada Verde, VFD 7529 FM 1303. Box 104, SPJST Hall, 1156 FM 1303. Box 205, St. John's Lutheran Church at 116 Tipcott. Box 206, American Legion Hall, Post 38. Box 207, Wilson County Expo, formerly Show Barn, 435 US Highway 97. Box 311, Lavernia Church of Christ, 131 Industrial Drive. Box 312, SS Water Supply, 10393 US Highway 87 West.
Box 313, Sutherland Springs Community Building, 411 4th Street, Sutherland Springs. Box 414, Stockdale Community Building, 700 West Main, Stockdale. Box 415, Life Church, 1779 FM 775. And Box 416, a new location, Wood Valley Community Center, 715 Fuller Lane, Atkins.
What's that?
She can do that C and D together.
Okay, C and B? Or
C and D.
Okay, this is B we're on right now.
This is, yes.
Okay,
She can add
just
the
out
other
of,
ones on that same motion if you like.
okay, okay. 416, did we have an election there last time?
Yes, we did.
Okay. But it is a new location. We had used it years and years ago, and then
Right.
now we're
right,
back
and
to
we're
it.
back.
Okay. I'm going to entertain a motion to approve the polling locations.
I'll make a motion that we approve the polling locations as presented.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Wiley. Which one of y'all seconded it?
Either one.
I did pick
Commissioner
one.
Fowle, second by Commissioner Fowle. Is there any more discussion? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. So, okay, now we're going to 9C, request to approve November 3rd, 2022 general election judges and clerks, and D, request to approve November 3rd, 2022 general election board signature and verification board. Okay, and those are the lists that we had that are right behind everything else that y'all got. And there's no vacancies? You got everything?
Every-
Wow, that's outstanding.
Judge, I make a motion that we approve the general election judges and clerks, and also the general election board signatures and verification board.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Fowle, second by Commissioner Martin, that we approve the general election judges and clerks and the signature and verification board. Is there any more discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, moving to agenda item number 10, Richard L. Jackson County Judge, discuss and take action on approving a resolution calling for additional measures at the border. And this is something that You're back from me, Joe? Here it is, okay. Okay, I'll read this. This is just kind of in support of our border counties. We have a disaster declaration that's in place, and it's been extended indefinitely until it's canceled by the Commissioner's Court or the county judge, which it hasn't been. But this is a resolution calling for additional measures to secure the border, stop the invasion at the border, and protect our communities. Whereas the preamble of the United States Constitution outlines the chief responsibility of the federal government is to ensure domestic tranquility and provide for the common defense. Whereas Article 4, Section 4 of the United States Constitution clearly states, the United States shall guarantee every state in this union a republic form of government and shall protect each of them against an invasion. And whereas Article 4, Section 4 of the Texas Constitution clearly states that the governor of Texas shall be commander-in-chief of the military forces of the state, except when they are called into actual service of the United States. He shall have the power to call forth a militia to execute the laws of the state, to suppress insurrections and repel invasions, and whereas cartels exploit weak and unsecured borders for their profit and for their power and profit, and to the detriment of our communities. And whereas cartels act as paramilitary narco-terrorist and organizations that profit from trafficking people, drugs, into the United States. Whereas the United States has a drug epidemic whereby tens of thousands of Americans die every year, and specifically Wilson County has a major health and public safety issue with methamphetamines, which greatly impacts our communities, our families, our jail, and our court system, and other local resources. And whereas the U.S. Customs and Border Patrol reports that CBP agents seized 192,000 pounds of methamphetamine at the border during the 2021 year, and whereas an ongoing border security crisis is not acceptable and has resulted in security threat and humanitarian disaster with overwhelming consequences to residents in the state of Texas, and whereas numerous Texas border counties experiencing local disaster situation as a result in inadequate border security have passed declarations and resolutions calling for further action and security on the southern Texas border. And whereas the Wilson County Commissioners Court desires to express its support for those border counties and to express its desire for stronger border security measures which impact all of our Texas communities. Now therefore be it resolved that the Wilson County Commissioners Court, one, recognizes our southern Texas border as suffering an invasion, and two, recognizes and affirms the sovereign and unilateral authority explicitly reserved to the states respectively under Article 1, Section 10 of the United States Constitution and Article 4, Section 7 of the Texas Constitution to defend themselves against invasion which has been exacerbated by the federal government failure in meeting its constitutional obligation to ensure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense, execute the laws, and protect each state against an invasion. 3, supports the state-led efforts of Operation Lone Star and expanded operation the expanded operation authorities available under Article 1, Section 10 of the United States Constitution and Article 4, Section 7 of the Texas Constitution, and 4, requests Governor Abbott take necessary steps as allowed under Article 1, Section 10 of the United States Constitution and Article 4 and Section 7 of the Texas Constitution to secure the Texas border and stop the invasion at the border, including the actions of paramilitary, narco-terrorist cartels that impose a huge risk to our communities. And 5, calls for the federal government to uphold its duties to adequately secure and protect the borders of the United States. Ordered this 22nd day of August 2022. This is a resolution in support of the counties that are along the southern border that, and in particular like Kinney County. This is a friend of mine, and they said they have daily pursuits. And this is just a support, or a show of support for them.
Judge, I make a motion that we approve the measure you just read of our support of the bordering counties.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Wiley, second by Commissioner Martin, that we approve the resolution for additional measures to secure the border. Is there any other discussion? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Okay, moving to agenda item 11, Richard L. Jackson County Judge. I don't know why they got me over there when it's got, and Gary Martin, Commissioner, Precinct 1. Okay, discuss and take action on appointing Michael Barrett to the ESD 2 Board of Commissioners.
Okay, Judge, as the court's probably aware, we've had 2 folks resign from the ESD 2 Board of Commissioners. I received 3 resumes from those folks. One of them has not returned phone calls, and the other one is not acceptable, and or I don't feel is appropriate for the board. So at this point, I'm ready to recommend appointing Michael Barrett to the ESD 2 Board of Commissioners, and his resume is attached or in the packet there for y'all to look at.
Commissioner Martin has discussed this with me.
Yeah, go ahead.
And if you made a motion, I will second that motion.
Okay. Well, here's Mr. Barrett, if y'all have any questions for him. First of all, Commissioners, I want to thank you for your service to our country based on what we just did.
Thank you.
So if there's anything else you'd like to tell the Commissioners about yourself, I think you make an excellent commissioner.
No, moved to the local area in 2012. Came from the Petroleum Reserve in Winnie, and then from there, started working in the community and surrounding areas. So, no, I'm excited. I think it'd be good.
No, thank you.
All right, well, I'll make a motion to appoint Michael Barrett as ESD to on the Board of Commissioners.
And I'll second that.
Motion by Commissioner Martin, second by Commissioner Wiley to appoint Michael Barrett. The ESD2 Board, is there any more discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. If you want to stand there,
He'll swear you in.
wherever you want to.
There you go.
Yeah, before you change your mind.
Right.
Quick, rabbit.
Okay, repeat after me, except say your name. In the name and by the authority of the state of Texas, oath of office. Okay,
I, Michael Barrett,
do solemnly swear or affirm
do solemnly swear or affirm
that I will faithfully execute the duties
that I will faithfully execute the duties
of the office of Commissioner ESD2
of the office of Commissioner ESD2
of the state of Texas,
of the state of Texas,
and will to the best of my ability
and will, to the best of my ability,
protect, preserve, and defend
protect, preserve, and defend
the Constitution and laws
the Constitution and laws
of the United States
of the United States
and of this state.
and of this state.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Thank you. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Come around over here and we'll get you to sign this.
Still one short.
There's another page right behind that. This one here? Yes. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Sir. And this young man sitting right there is our chief medical officer for ESD2, Adam Marconi. And we're still working on getting the other commissioner for you. We got a lot of feelers out, a lot of people trying to help me find somebody that can do a good job for y'all. So hopefully by the next court meeting, we'll have the other person.
I believe, and I can reach out and get in contact with, I believe you're having trouble getting on the phone, which is, I don't know if we missed something there, because she was following up quite a bit, so might have had one of those blocker ups or something going on.
Yeah, okay.
But thank y'all.
Thank you.
Okay, we're moving to 11B, discuss and take action on approving a memorandum of understanding between the library and the Wilson County Historical Commission.
Okay, so I'll open this up. Nikki, they have a copy of the MOU. So basically, it's just a paperwork issue. As you know, the library maintains the archives for the Historical Society. And so this understanding just lays out who's doing what and for what reason. So if y'all have any specific questions about it, Nikki can answer them, or if there's anything you want to add, Nikki.
No, this all came from a meeting I had with the commissioners in July when we did a report of how much the archives traffic has increased. And they asked me for a paper copy of what the library does and what the Historical Commission would like to do. So I put it all down on paper for you guys to do a paper trail. Do you
And the county attorney did review this and approve it. Any questions? I'll make a motion to approve the MOU between the library and the Wilson County Historical Commission.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Martin, second by Commissioner Stovall, to approve the memorandum of understanding between the library and Wilson County Historical Commission. Is there any more discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you very much for taking care of that.
Do you want this, Nikki? Okay. Agenda item number 12 has been canceled. We still have work to be done on that. So we're moving along to agenda item number 13, Rebecca Scriven, Permits and Development Director, 13A Utility Permit, A1 Permit number 694, Oak Hills Water Supply Corporation, Precinct 2, Deer Trail, review and approve.
Good morning. All right, so this utility permit is for Deer Trail to provide water to a residence on our road. It'll be 3 feet deep under the right-of-way, 5 feet deep under the road itself. It's to bore.
I'll make a motion, Judge, that we approve permit number 694, Oak Hills Water.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Fowle, second by Commissioner Martin, that we approve permit number 694. Is there any more discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Comes around, give it.
For this.
Okay, yeah, we got an extra one. Okay, now we're moving to 13B, subdivision, the estates at Triple R Ranch Unit 2, amended plat. B1, review and approve final plat. Discuss and take action.
Yes, so this is an amended plat. It was submitted us due to a surveying error on those 8 lots. They've met all the requirements and received a favorable recommendation from the Development Review Committee.
I make a motion that we approve the amended plat for Triple R Ranch Unit 2.
I'll second.
Motion by Commissioner Wiley, second by Commissioner Fowle. We approve the amended final plat, I guess is what it is, of the estates at Triple R Unit 2. Is there any more discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. So you have the, oh, they're coming around.
I guess that probably should go along with it.
Let's go for that.
There you go.
Okay, moving on to agenda item number 4, Christina Moots, interim county treasurer. Financial report.
Good morning. There's the comments to sign.
This is the one to sign?
Yes. Eva.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you.
Good morning. I am presenting to you the ending financial report of July 2022.
We're just making it, yeah. I'd have to look at them prior to that.
Do you know if, on the lease purchases on that loader for me, we made a we were going to make a payment of 17,000 and some change on the principal? Do you know if that happened? Is that reflected? Is
That
it-
was not included, so I will double check if that would have taken, was that for the month of July?
I think it was. It's one of those again.
August, because if it reflected for August, then it's not
Yeah,
reflecting it.
Yeah.
But I can double
I
check.
don't know when I don't remember.
It was right around the end of the first of the month. That's all.
Yeah.
That's always the
But
problem.
I know it does not reflect in that amount left.
Okay.
And I'll get clarification for you to see if it was closer to the end, and that's not on my part, or went through the first of the month.
Okay. Thank you. I'll make a motion to approve the treasurer's report.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Martin, second by Commissioner Perdola. We approve the treasurer's report. Is there any more questions, additions, deletions, anything? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, moving right along to agenda item 15, Jalen T. Bodiford, Human Resource General Specialist. Payroll and personnel changes.
Good morning. Rachel Gonzalez was hired as a permit clerk for the Permits and Development Department, making $14.42 per hour or $30,000 annually. And Jason Cook resigned from his position as a corrections officer for the Sheriff's Department effective August 13th. Dylan Tumlinson resigned from his position as a corrections officer for the Sheriff's Department effective August 13th. And Jaime Quintero resigned from his position as a corrections officer for the Sheriff's Department effective August 12th.
Okay. You got through before I found it. Well, thank you. This is all in, just for information. It's all.
Yes, sir.
You said you had some commissioners that are gonna go to work for you? Okay.
I was wondering if you got anybody left working over there.
Okay. Moving on to agenda item 16, Brenda L. Trevino, County Auditor, bills.
Judge, I've got a total amount is $267,854.28. The first one is all of the invoices, the one behind it is the credit card detail.
I'll make a motion to approve the bills.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Martin, second by Commissioner Perdola. We approve the bills. Is there any more discussion, questions, additions, deletions, anything? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Okay. Last thing on the agenda. Do you have anything else?
Judge, I'd like to thank you and County Auditor Brenda and her staff for getting the budget worked out. I know it was a hard job to do this year. And it's been a balanced budget, my final one, but I just want to thank y'all for all the hard work y'all did to get it taken care of.
Ditto. Yes.
Y'all deserve some time
Oh,
off.
it's been canceled.
You're not going to get it, but you deserve it.
Exactly.
Yes. Okay, 10:13, we're adjourned.
You need to make a note that I appeared late.